Hey, welcome back. Check this out, man. This is the 7th of July, 2022, and we had a tremendous day with Tesla here. So I'm going to show you how I set this thing up. Let's get into this. All right, this is Tesla on the daily. And what I do is, this is pre-market thinking. This, before this candle was even there. I was saying to myself, it has to break this point here. So that's going to be my entry level. So I draw a line here. Okay. That would be my entry point. And you could see what happened is it kind of gapped up in the morning and then fell down and then worked its way back up. And once it crossed the previous day's high, that's when I got in. But before I even opened up the computer for this morning, I looked at what was happening last night. Okay, this is my entry. I knew that because it was a previous day high. It has to be a 2 to the upside, and I'm going to go long. And sure enough, that's what happened. But where was it going to go? So I look to the left, and I look at the previous highs that are above my entry point, and I can see that this point here on this day of the 23rd of June was a high, but the closest to our range. So what I ended up doing was I drew a line at that top. Okay, there, that's target number 1. And then just keep working into the range and looking. Okay, there's target number 2 on the 21st of June. So come over here. And then if this thing's really got some juice, it's going to go up to the next target, which was right here. Okay. Oh, that's not straight. Let me straighten that up. Okay. So that's how I had my setup. I had these lines in even before the day start. I had this up last night, but I took them down just to show you how I did them and what I looked for to get these resistance points or these target points, whatever you want to call them. So once my trade broke the previous day's high, I got in. And my first target I'm looking at was right here at 718.14. Once it got around that range, I was going to really kind of watch it, see what it was going to do. I knew we were going to get a little pushback on it, so I held it for a little while, but then I think it was the 3-minute or the 1-minute, I had a couple of them that were starting to go red. They were starting to go 2 to the downside. Then I had another one kind of just up and down, kind of doji-ish. So I said, all right, I'm up, I'm out. Because I'm not going to hang on and let this thing drop, especially with options, it drops so fast. So I got out. I should have had more guts. But I made a profit good enough. Base hit, I'm good. But what ended up happening is it again tested this a couple times and then took off. And then where we're going to the next point of resistance, the next target, which was at 731 in that range. And then if it was going to go beyond that, which it played with it, and then, it hung underneath that for a little while, then finally stuck its head over, but it didn't quite get over target number 3 at 738.66, excuse me. So again, if you were playing this, if you were watching this live and you were watching the resistance and what was happening here, it was just keep pushing, then finally pushed all the way through, worked its way up a little bit and kind of just closed slowly. People taking profits. So everything kind of just slowed down towards the end of the day, but it was an incredible day. It was a good day. The option I was in, I ended up making, I think it was about 22% on it. And that's good. If you're doing 10, 20% on a trade, each trade, even if it's 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, the stuff adds up. And that's how you have to look at it. We're not going for grand slams every trade. You might get one every now and then, but you don't have that mindset. So looking at today, how did we know that we were going into this direction? Again, using the Strat, go back 3 days ago, 2 days ago to the 5th. And what do we have? We had a candle that started as a 2 to the downside because it broke lower than the previous day's low and then shot up. So this is a 3 because it broke the bottom and it broke the top. This right here is an actionable signal, okay? It's telling you that it's a good possibility that things are going to start going long. They're going to start going upwards and the bulls are in control for a little bit. So we saw the next day, we saw it dip down, and then we saw a little break above and then closed under the previous day's high, but it did cross it. So this is considered a 2 to the upside, even though it's almost doji-ish. You know, you had some buyers and you had some sellers. But today was the day to keep your eye on, to look at it. And once we had that confirmation that we did break above this high, yesterday's high, that was our signal. That was our flag, or green flag, to go in and go long. And if you did, that's great. And there was, I mean, Spider did the same thing. Netflix, Apple, it was an easy day of trading. I mean, we can look at Netflix, same thing. Once it broke across the previous day high at 186, you could have rode this thing to 189 or 190. Apple. Okay, we are in an uptrend for the last 4 days. Same thing. Same strategy, the Strat. Okay, once it breaks the previous day high here at 144, ride the thing up. Okay, where could we have set some targets on this one? Okay, we started our day here. This is your beginning of your trade. So you look left till you find something that's in close to range of what is going to be the next resistance point or target. So I would say, because there's two here on the 9th of June and the 3rd of June, both had the same highs, which is the closest to our range at 147.98. But for Apple to do a run that high from 143 to 147.98, that's a huge day, and they don't have that many days like that. So you would have to kind of just eyeball it. And once you feel comfortable and kind of watch it and things start going south, or you know, some people start selling off, then you could have got out. So again, the trick to the trade is setting up the trade before the day even starts. Look at the chart, set up your parameters, set up your targets, set up your entry points, set up your exits. Once you got that, you're ready to go. You're ready to go. And always look for those places. Look left, because there's history there, and it'll show you exactly where the other people are looking at, and other people have set stops. So as long as you know what the other people are doing in the psychology of the other traders, you're going to have a leg up. And instead of just being the blind trader, you're going to have a leg up and know with good confidence where this thing's going. And hopefully you did well today, and we'll continue to do this in the future and continue using the Strat. And we'll catch you next time.